with coverage you can count on. This is WNEMTV5 News.
Well, just in the past hour, President Donald Trump saying he will not attend Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony. That's according to a tweet sent by the president himself. However, Vice President Mike Pence is planning on attending, marking another major break with Trump after the two disagreed over the vice president's role in certifying the election results. Biden's inauguration is taking place on January 20th. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Blake Keller. Frank is off. That announcement comes as federal and local authorities are working to identify the rioters who stormed the Capitol. So far, at least 82 people have been arrested. The FBI has released a wanted poster asking for the public's help in finding dozens of people seen in photographs and video. In West Virginia, there are calls for newly installed state legislator Derek Evans to step down after he live-streamed on Facebook video of him storming the Capitol. Evans released a statement saying he was there as an independent member of the media to film history. More arrests are expected in the coming days, with suspects facing various charges, including unlawful entry and possibly homicide. That's following word that a U.S. Capitol officer died from his injuries. That brings the death toll from the assault at the Capitol to 5. President Donald Trump is now condemning the violence amid calls for his removal from office. Michael George has the latest.
Flags have been lowered to half staff at the U.S. Capitol for Officer Brian Sicknick. Capitol Police say the 12-year veteran of the force collapsed after a confrontation with violent rioters. Last night, officers gathered at the Capitol, flashing their lights as a show of respect. Sicknick's death comes hours after the U.S. Capitol Police Chief and Senate Sergeant-at-Arms stepped down amid outrage over Wednesday's security failures.
National Guard wasn't being deployed. We need to know why that happened.
President Trump is now condemning the violence carried out by his supporters.
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country.
In a video produced by the White House, the president had harsh words for the same people he described very differently the day of the attack.
We love you. You're very special.
In the video, the president acknowledged a new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. But there's growing pressure to remove the president from office before then.
This is urgent. This is emergency of the highest magnitude.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and others are calling on the president's cabinet to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove Mr. Trump from office, or else the House may begin impeachment proceedings. But Trump administration officials are pushing back.
There's a long way to go to meet the constitutional requirement.
Two members of the president's cabinet resigned Thursday in the wake of the violence: Education Secretary Betsy DeVos and Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao. Michael George, CBS News, the Capitol.
Well, Vice President Mike Pence received his second dose of the coronavirus vaccine. Pence received his first during a public event at the White House 3 weeks ago. This as the U.S. reports more than 4,000 COVID deaths in just one day for the first time since the pandemic began. So far, almost 6 million Americans have received the vaccine, though officials had promised 20 million would be vaccinated by the end of December. The UK Department of Health announced today it approved the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine for use. Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency said the decision followed months of rigorous clinical trials involving tens of thousands of people and an extensive analysis of the vaccine's safety, quality, and effectiveness. The UK government has agreed to purchase an additional 10 million doses of the vaccine for a total of 17 million. Wednesday, the European Commission also authorized the vaccine across the union's 27 member nations. Next week, Michigan moving to the next phase of coronavirus vaccinations. Starting Monday, people 65 and older and essential workers like police and teachers can receive their first dose. The Saginaw and Genesee County Health Departments say it may take them longer to get to the next phase because they have a limited number of doses and more frontline healthcare workers who still have priority. This afternoon, Governor Gretchen Whitmer will give an update on the state's fight against COVID-19. She is set to speak at 1:30. She is expected to strongly encourage K-12 schools to reopen for in-person learning by March 1st. Stay with TV5 for live coverage on air and on WNEM.com. More local news. A man is behind bars today after state troopers responded to a breaking and entering incident. It happened at Wood Valley Mobile Home Park in Tuscola County. Troopers say 2 children were inside the home when a man opened the window to their bedroom attempting to enter. Now the mom called 911 and troopers arrived just before midnight, and police found a suspect that matched the description nearby and say he was highly intoxicated and resisted arrest. The investigation reveals he is a resident of a nearby mobile home in the park. He has several active warrants for his arrest. Starting tomorrow, Stars will open Life and Express services to non-essential trips on weekends. Now, trips are scheduled on a first-come, first-served basis. Stars will continue only service essential trips during the week. Stars mainline bus routes are still suspended until further notice. Here is a live look out over downtown Flint and Saginaw. Those clouds are hanging tight. Meteorologist John Gross is here with us. When can we kick these clouds to the curb, John?
I'll tell you what, they've just been sticking. It's like a guest who has overstayed their welcome. They got to get out of here. But unfortunately, sticking around for another day.
Bummer.
Rays of sun, possible. It is possible. Kind of similar to what we had yesterday. So that's what we're going to take as we're going throughout later on this afternoon. Also, folks in the Thumb seeing a few snow flurries detected earlier today. And that's just all due to the cloud cover, lake effect cloud cover that we've been experiencing coming off of Lake Huron. So definitely something normal that we experience this time of year across mid-Michigan. Pinpoint Doppler, again, not really picking up on anything, but it is being detected beneath the radar. So we depend on your guys' reports to come on in, and we've been seeing a few of them. So we thank you for that. Other than that, it's a generally cloudy start to your afternoon, and it does look to stay that way for most of today. Again, a few rays of sun will be possible. And as you can see across most of the Midwest, it stays fairly cloudy. There is a storm system off towards our south. I don't think we'll be seeing any impacts, at least from that storm system in particular. Temperatures right now in the 20s. But your winds, again, they're coming mainly from the north and east. So that's what's giving us a lot of that cloud cover coming off of Lake Huron, and a few embedded snow showers in the mix too. We can't rule that out. Your winds right now at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Day planner for today, more clouds than sun. We'll call it partly to mostly cloudy. Temperatures overall by this afternoon looking to reach upper 20s and lower 30s for your Friday. We'll take a look at what's in store for the weekend, what you can expect as we're going into next week in just a little bit. Blake, we'll send it back to you.
All righty, John, thank you so much for that. Well, as COVID vaccines roll out, scientists are looking at additional ways to fight the virus. Coming up, why they are pushing to also develop COVID-19 medication. A new survey finds more Americans are drinking and driving, how they say the pandemic is influencing those decisions. Those stories and much more ahead as TV5 News at noon continues in just a moment. In your health this noon, a new survey finds some Americans are drinking and driving during this pandemic. The personal finance website valuepenguin.com is behind that survey. They asked more than 1,000 Americans about drinking habits. 43% admitted to driving under the influence of alcohol. Another 45% say they rode in a car with a driver who had been drinking. Now, the main reasons, they thought they were traveling only a short distance. Others weren't able to drive, and nearly half of those who also admitted to being pulled over by police. While researchers around the world work to develop even more COVID-19 vaccines, there is a push among some scientists to also find medications that shorten the infectious period of the virus. Now, they believe millions of lives could be saved by reducing the time people are contagious. All right, job losses on the rise. Coming up, why December saw one of the biggest economic hits since the beginning of the pandemic. And the government has kicked off a new assistance program who will be seeing some extra relief amid the COVID crisis. These stories and more ahead for you. But first, make sure to set your DVR. A new episode of People TV airing tonight on TV5. It's owned by TV5's parent company, the Meredith Corporation. Here's a preview.
Tonight on People, Michael Chiklis stars as Ben Clemens in the new drama series Coyote.
He's a Border Patrol agent, and it's his last day of work. And through an extreme set of circumstances, he ends up becoming the very thing that he's sort of protected against for his entire career, which he's forced into becoming a coyote. And Coyotes bring people over the border.
Ben, as a man who knows how to cross the border, I want you to work for me. Do as you're told, tell no one.
This has the elements of Breaking Bad and The Shield in terms of gritty storytelling, and the visual sort of size and scope of a Game of Thrones, which is extraordinary to watch.
Now, due to the COVID-19 shutdown, the first season will only have 6 episodes, but Michael promises he'll be back for more. That's all tonight on People.
Dollars and cents this noon. For the first time since last April, the economy lost 140,000 jobs last month. That's far worse than expected. The unemployment rate remains the same at 6.7%. Now, the losses in December mostly in the hospitality and leisure sector. The government says the increase in COVID-19 infections and the virus containment measures in each state can be attributed to the numbers. Overall, the U.S. economy is still down nearly 10 million jobs since February. The Treasury Department has kicked off an emergency rental assistance program providing funds to states, U.S. territories, and Native American tribes. The $25 billion initiative will target households at risk of homelessness or housing instability due to financial hardship caused by the COVID-19 pandemic.
And now your first Warn 5 forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Blake, we'll send it back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Breaking news right now. Hall of Fame manager and Dodgers legend Tommy Lasorda has died at the age of 93. According to the team, Lasorda had only recently been released from the hospital after a month-long stint that included time in intensive care. Under his watch, the Dodgers won 2 World Series, 1981 and 88, and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1997. Well, tonight marks the end of an era. Alex Trebek's final episode on Jeopardy airs tonight. Coming up, the working list of guest hosts. Who is on tap to host? We'll let you know. And have you missed a story? Catch up on our YouTube channel. And for the latest updates, like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. We're checking in now with Lisa Robertson with your local steals and deals. All right, the last episode of Jeopardy, taped by longtime host Alex Trebek, is set to air today with a special tribute honoring the legendary host who died from pancreatic cancer in November. The producers say they plan to feature guest hosts after the final Trebek episode. The Los Angeles Times reports evening news from CBS anchor Katie Couric is among the names to guest host. Jeopardy champion Ken Jennings will appear in Trebek's place starting next week. You can catch Trebek's last show right here tonight at 7. You know, John, I was going to say pancreatic cancer is very near and dear to my heart, but also Jeopardy, you know, that's been in our living rooms. I don't know about you, my living rooms with my family growing up, so it's going to be weird seeing him not there.
Oh yeah, between Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, you can't go wrong. Just classics.
Classics, yes.
Very much classics, yep. End of an era. Thank you so much, Alex, for everything that you've done. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your 7-day forecast. A bit more cloudy today, unfortunately, but if you do see a ray or two of sunshine, consider yourself lucky. Temperatures by the afternoon, mid-30s. A little brighter tomorrow, more clouds on Sunday. We continue to stay mainly quiet into next week. We'll watch Tuesday and Thursday for you, possibly a few more snow showers. Blake, we'll send it back to you.
All right, John, sounds good. Thanks so much for watching TV5 News at noon. We hope you have a wonderful day. We will see you later.
Thanks for watching WNEMTV5. Watch us live wherever you are, on our website, our mobile, and on our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.